the fight and go on them. If you don't, they're just going to verse you down. They're going to slowly harass you until you actually can't fight them.
Yeah, I actually agree with Seb a lot. The Greaves doesn't feel like it was worth it this game because it was mostly spell damage.
Okay, moving forward, looking forward to the next game. What do I.M O do now? Do we see the Darkseer banned out this time? Is that going to help either team?
They should grab it again if they can. I think I don't think it was a problem. Just maybe adjust it a bit more. And you know, when the description of I.M O is actually like feast off. I mean, offlane, and in that case, it really was. He got nothing. So maybe they should give him a bit more space, tag for him a bit, or just gank on his lane.
Yeah,
because that was Darkseer was too poor.
He was, and I agree with what you were on to. Maybe a different item build could have worked. He needed Blink BKB pretty much to go into the fight. That's what they needed in that game. Glimmer Cape also saved so many people.
Definitely.
Yeah, players are on their way out to the arena to rejoin the pods that they have waiting for them as they come out now. And we will get this game back underway very shortly. ROTK looking pretty cool, pretty relaxed. And that man's always relaxed. Look at him. As he leads his team out back towards the pods. Vici Gaming will go head-to-head with I.M O in Game 2 with a game in hand. Just one game away from reaching the top 4. They've been here before, of course. Plenty of experience in that team.
Fun fact about Ice is that he will never play with his socks on because he doesn't feel comfortable or at home. So makes him more relaxed.
Would not like to be in that booth right now.
They have air conditioning, you know.
Need some air fresheners in there as well. So they'll get themselves settled. We're already settled, which means we can continue to talk about this this matchup and figure out where it might go. Do we feel like Vici got the upper hand in the first game, obviously, and now they've got the mental upper hand as well? Does that not just add to sort of, you know, take them 2-0 and clean this one up and say goodbye to I.M O, or have they got a little bit more fight in them, do you think?
Oh, I think I.M O has a lot of fight in them. They did, after all, 2-0 against Secret, which was an impressive performance. So I think they can bring it back. It's just, as was mentioned, RTK needs to have a good game. So maybe if they can make early rotations that help him there, or just set up the lanes in a way that benefits him, I believe they can play off the back of him.
Okay, what about you two guys? What do you think?
I really like having a pressure lane in the off lane. Again, they've been sacking ROTK a lot, and we saw a lot of success with like the solo off lane Darkseer from Zai. But at the same time, if you have like Darkseer +1, like Spirit Breaker, we've seen a decent amount Undying. If they can get their hands on it, I think they can go a long way to making sure that their carry is much stronger than opponent's carry.
Okay, Winter?
I think I.M O this game has to expect that Vici are going to draft more towards a mix of spell damage and physical damage, which was what happened the last game. So it's going to be a problem where if you're fighting a lot and your BKBs go down, you have to have another answer to that.
Yeah, we've not seen a huge amount of pocket strats, but there's been like the odd hero here or there that they've kind of pulled out of nowhere. So do we expect that in Game 2?
I mean, we were talking about like Lina getting more attention, and I like the fact that Vici actually showed that against Lina we want to have the Nether Ward, which is the Pugna, which Sebastian and I agreed it was a really good way of dealing with the Lina.
Yeah. The Luna as well, not only picked once in the group stages, and then suddenly 7 times in 3 days. Just seems to have caught on.
Luna always comes back at TI. It's always been like this. You know, suddenly they start picking Luna, they start winning with it, and then it starts being a thing.
Yeah.
But she's weak if you have to go BKB that early. And we've seen like Visage own her earlier today. This game was Zeus. So she does have their weaknesses, and teams are picking up. Mass spell damage is the way to beat her out early.
Okay. So any other crazy picks that we see, either picks that we haven't seen too much of? I mean, we're definitely not getting techies in this game, but anything crazy along that lines, or maybe even anything we haven't seen yet.
I wouldn't say definitely. There is, of course, Ice in this game as well, so he would be a player that could pull out the techies.
Winter's laughing. Come on.
It can happen, Winter. Are you gonna smile?
Yeah, because when you mentioned crazy, that's the first guy.
And they actually they saw I.M O being completely, you know, caught off guard by the Tekis pick yesterday, so it could also be a thing. From I.M O, if you're looking for a surprise pick from I.M O, if I had to bet, it would be on the Draw Ranger. As I said, I think it was yesterday, they do play a lot of Draw Ranger strats, and they've been doing it without Visage. Just they used to run some Draw Pugna, lineups like this where they just go and they like push all the time, and they force the issue very early, and you know, they just catch you off guard because you're not ready to actually defend your base damage but they're going to go for it if you're not ready.
Yeah. Okay. Any final thoughts, Wega?
No, I just want to mention again that Luna, she's going to keep being a relevant hero here. It won't fade off. After it started here in the later stage of the main event, it will keep going.
Okay. Just checking my little list that we've been keeping throughout the tournament. There's a number of players who started off this tournament that had a chance of winning a second one. We've obviously lost a couple more players now, of course, with Secret gone. It now means we have just 2 players left who can repeat. That's Zhao 8 in LGD and Hao, who's in Vici Gaming. So there's only 2 left, and if we lose them out of this, then we're down to 1.
I mean, we just need one.
Well, we do just need one, but it becomes much harder just to get one guy through to the final. It just goes to show how difficult it is to repeat. It's a storyline that we followed all the way through. Obviously, it came into the group stages, and we were talking about it back then, and obviously with Chobra here. And we've been talking about it all week as well. And I know some people have sort of said, why do you keep talking about it? Well, because it's an important thing. It's one of those things that the players want to do as well. I remember S4 saying in his video interview that that's what's driving him right now. He wanted to win 2 in a row, or 2 overall. So how important do you think it is for these players to have those achievements each time? Because it's not about the money when it comes down to that, is it?
Exactly. For every other player, it's I want to win TI, but for one who has already done it, it's to repeat the story. And as you said, it's almost impossible to win just one TI. To repeat the story, we'll see if that can actually happen. I mean, for Hao and Zhao 8, that's the dream.
Yeah, it's tough. And we've lost a lot of champions along the way. Obviously, your guys not qualifying either, and then losing Na'Vi early. It's been a bad year for the champions and the favourites as well. It almost seems like it's the year of the wild card.
But it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing overall for the scene for 2 reasons. First of all, it's going to give hope to a lot of players, a lot of teams. Nothing is impossible. When you see CDEC dominating the international, and they weren't even invited, they were a qualifier team. They did well in the qualifier, but they actually didn't even win the qualifier. They did well. They were only second. And suddenly they're like one of the strongest teams here, and we're even questioning if EG can actually, beat them. So it's like it's a whole new scene suddenly. So, and it's also gonna bring back to earth, I'd say, the better players, if some of them feel like they are actually far away, far ahead of the others. It's just gonna bring back a tougher competition.
Yeah, we've had a couple of players, notably this week. I picked out Arteezy, who said it. And Ice has also said that they both used the word cocky. And I picked up on that because it's exactly what we'd set up here. Was maybe they were a bit cocky when they went out there, going out in their shows and went. And they admitted to that. And I think that's really humble of them to do so. So it's a good identifier that they've gone, hang on a minute. We kind of got carried away here with the whole, we're really good and we're going to win this easily.
Yeah, but sometimes players realize that too late. And I think that's why we've seen a poor performance from the champions TI4, TI5. The only one that was really close, I would say, was Na'Vi in TI3 that actually almost got it. But everyone else, they just don't have that same hunger. After you've already proven that you're the best, like if you win another TI, you just prove that you're the best again, right? It's not nearly as strong as someone who doesn't believe in you. It's like, oh, you guys are good, but you haven't won a TI yet, right?
We saw it in the G interview, although that interview was a bit, but there was some information in it, and he actually said at some point we wanted to beat Secret. So not only they wanted to win and go further, they also wanted to prove that they were better than Secret. And I feel like when you're Secret, sure you want to win and move on, but you don't necessarily want to beat Virtus Pro. Of course you want to, but it's not a big achievement for them. Whereas Virtus Pro, it's, wow, you actually disqualified Secret.
Yeah, the drive is the main thing is the drive for VP beating Secret is greater than the drive for Secret beating VP.
Exactly.
That's why they perform better.
Yeah, sometimes it just comes down to that little bit of hunger, doesn't it, in the moment. Do you feel there was any sandbagging of any of the teams before we got to TI? I mean, it's been a common thing in sports. I just wonder whether you feel like maybe in Dota 2 some of these guys have been keeping stuff back, haven't been putting everything in. Someone actually did say to me yesterday he believed that the Chinese teams had all not done anything for the first 6 months with their eye fully on the international. I can't believe they've gone to 11 tournaments and not tried hard.
Nah, definitely not.
Yeah, I don't agree as well.
No.
I mean, the last few months before TI, there's always talk at every LAN, like at ESL, it was talk, is Secret going to pull out all their strategies or are they saving for TI? But in all reality, I haven't seen any team that I feel is saving strategy. Even Secret at ESL, they performed really well. They pulled out some Tusk-Teki combination, which was seen here at TI as well. I don't think any team was holding back stuff and trying to, because the meta changed from ESL to here.
I understand the frustration, though, because people are looking for why have suddenly the Chinese teams become fantastic again when they haven't had particularly good 6 months at the start of the year.
This whole thing is a fairy tale. Like, this is not reality. You always want to win in Dota. You're not like I'm gonna lose for 6 months and then I have this master plan. What if you just lose at TI? Then you're like, you look like a fool basically.
Yeah.
And you lost everything on the whole. You always try your best because they're all competitors. They're like the toughest competitors.
Okay, very quickly before we go into the draft, 1-1 or 2-0, you two?
1-1.
1-1.
2-0.
Wow. Okay, a difference of opinion on the analysis desk. Who'd have thought?
I.M.O versus VG Gaming. Game.
All right.
Game 2. I'll help him out there. I.M.O having to pull this one back. VG Gaming on the verge of making it into the top 4 yet again at the international. The draft is live.
So are we going to see a Winter Ribbon this time? Because I feel like VG Gaming, they can't really afford to ban it because Bounty Hunter is still available. So same goes for the for the VH, but the Gyro is still there.
Yeah, it was banned in the first phase of this game, so they might.
But they were first pick, so that's why they could also first pick the Gyro. So it's a bit riskier this time around. They have to choose between both heroes. On the other hand, if they do let the Winter Wyvern and I.M.O first pick set, they can go for the Darkseer. So there's this Winter Wyvern Darkseer.
If you get
mind game we've seen.
There is, but you can also get Gyrocopter Darkseer, which is also super strong if they rate Winter Wyvern that high. So there's a little mind game now from FY and what he wants to do here.
I think at the moment I.M.O rates Wyvern the highest. Like maybe Lina would be their second priority, but I can see Wyvern, Lina, and Bounty Hunter. These are the 3 heroes that they
more than Darkseer.
Yeah.
That's what they have been doing as well, just picking it as soon as possible, any chance given. So Darkseer actually gets banned out.
Interesting. Gyro again?
They're targeting RTK, aren't they? Like, they realized last game, managed to shut him down, will not keep trying to hold him back because then I.M.O doesn't really come online.
Yeah, it really felt like ROTK not being able to have the impact he usually has on the game made them. They felt just weaker overall because of that.
Yeah, and we mentioned about this before. With ROTK leading a team, you need to give him a good start. If he doesn't get a good start, he's not going to be like the presence of him in the game is significant.
A good start to him isn't really like he doesn't need to be like 5-0 and super fun. He just needs a decent start so he has what he needs to take the fights correctly. That's basically it.
Queen Winter Wyvern.
Wow. So the Winter Wyvern got through for the first time against these two, and it got picked. No surprise.
Queen of Pain as well. Good combination. I don't know. Winter Wyvern is just super strong against Gyrocopter as well.
What about Undying for I.M.O?
It could be a hero that I think it's a hero that fits them in the sense that they like to be very aggressive. They like to team fight a lot. It's a great team fight hero. Great hero to just take objectives. I don't know. Do they even pick DK I.M.O? I'm thinking of a lineup around DK Gyro, but I'm not sure they've played DK so much.
I don't believe it's CTY's hero as well. It just doesn't feel like it because he excels at these high skill heroes. These heroes that can bring the insane plays. He's not a very mechanical. I go in and stun with a Shadow Blade DK.
At the same time, I think it plays to the strengths of their team. As we saw like last year, RTZ played a lot of DK, and they just won game straight up with it just because it was a straight out draft.
I mean, sometimes you have to pick a hero according to your lineup instead of focusing too much. Oh, this guy, he's really good at playing heroes.
Of course.
Yeah. You have to fit the lineup. So I think you need to find a balance between those
Storm Spirit.
All right. Well, that was
balance. No balance. Only CTY Storm.
And there's a hero that I.M.O completely gave up on. It's Razor. I feel like they've been picking Razor a lot prior to the main stage, and they completely forgot about it or just ignored it.
I mean, we talk about CTY. You
don't want to bad game.